One of the mellower of the year, but no less fast and technical. Bielsko-Biala, just under 2 kilometers in length, 400 vertical meter drop. Average gradient of about 20.4%. Say the weather has played absolute havoc here. It has been extremely wet all week long, but largely unchanged from last season. Let's have a look at the start list then for this junior men's race. Alex Mallon will get us underway for the USA, followed by Benny Duval. Tyler Waite for Yeti Fox Factory Race Team. A lot of noise around that young man. Dara Ryan for Orbea FMD. And then Till Alron, Asa Vermette and Max Alron will close things off. And speaking of Asa Vermette, I'm very happy to say I'm joined in the commentary booth by the one and only Nico Mullally. Nico, this has been a stressful run into this race, hasn't it?
Yeah, the first race of the season always has new challenges. So, yeah, we're here now, and boys are on track.
And it's just, the track has been absolutely ravaged by the weather here, hasn't it? It's been just biblical all week long.
Yeah, you know, it's a soft track, and then we got all this weather come in, a lot of bikes on it, guys going as fast as you could imagine on a bicycle. It tears up a course. There's not a whole ton of line choices, so all the fast guys being on the same part of the track just beats it up.
And Asa Vermette freshly re-signed to Frameworks Racing. You got one of the biggest fish into your boat. Happy with that? Done deal?
Very happy. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. He's my guy, and I'm 100% behind him.
Here we go. Alex Mallon then leaves the start hut. We rejoin his run live, and we get a look at this Sturt Mountain Resort track, and it's so beaten up there. Anywhere between the trees, Nico, where the water can really get at it, it's disintegrated, hasn't it?
Yeah, this top section is just a lot of machine-built berms. They're not the most hard-packed section, so they get destroyed. Just ruts, holes. Riders are going to be challenged to get around these things.
Alex Mallon will set our benchmark time from the USA. You can see how fast they hit that straight. Just manages to get inside that right-hander. That's a section that's really changed since last year, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 2 lines there now. You can go inside on the grass or run the outside, the line from last year. Looks like both are working. The inside may be shorter, but more technical.
Junior men's as well. You know better than anybody else from having Asa in the squad. It's the killing fields of a start list, isn't it? The talent is so deeply packed at the minute. Anything can happen this afternoon.
It is, and any of these kids can ride so fast and so committed in any section. It's just who can put it together in a full run. These kids don't quite have that experience, and that's what junior's about. They're gaining it.
What they lack in experience, they make up for in enthusiasm. Definitely. Mallon heads across that gap. Slightly awkward to get across there. We saw Lars Bergier in our GoPro course recon saying that you've got to really tee things up really well in advance to get across there.
Yeah, this third sector is where it really heats up. Oh, this wood section is probably the most technical part of the course.
Mallon really aggressive through here, looking good.
He's definitely going for it.
He's holding absolutely nothing back here, Alex Mallon. Great to watch so far, getting really, really aggressive, down low over the bars. And is that kind of, do you reckon this second half of the course is where the time really lies? The first half's maybe about hitting all your marks and being tidy, and then from here on down it's...
I think a lot of it's between the second and third split that you see right here. And then, again, in the very last section, it's kind of like roll of the dice. You want to go all in on that last steep section, or you want to try to get it through to the finish?
You can see just how soft and wet that little pinch point is. Tire choice today, absolutely crucial as well. Josh Carlson reporting in from the bottom. Hattie Harnden looking like the Aon team are busy with tire choices. The Canyon squad are trying different things.
Here you go, coming up on the most technical part here, this stump section. 3 line choices, inside, middle, or outside. Looks like he's going for the inside.
Oh, Just loses a foot though and slides out wide. So let's get Alex Mallon down the line in, and we'll set our benchmark time as he crosses across the drop, pops out into the open, crosses the line with a 3:19.9. Good run. We sort of on clip there in that bottom right-hand corner, but it was pretty good apart from that.
Pretty similar to the times from qualifying, so of course seems to be running very similar.
Benny Duval then, Canadian, leaves the start hop on one of those frameworks racing machines off yours. Tell us about Benny, what you know about him.
Yeah, he's a second-year junior, gained a lot of experience last year. Rides in Whistler, has experienced riding in conditions like this, so see if he can get it through this last section.
Second back now for Benny Duval. And he's faster at sector 4 then, so a 10th of a second back into the green for Benny Duval. Looking really, really good.
That inside line. Did it really well.
It seems to be working, actually. We saw that in the junior women's race. A lot of them going to that rider's right as well.
The right works if you can get that turn. It makes the turn a tighter apex, but if you get that, then it's worth it.
Ball across the line, goes fast by a second ahead of Alex Mallon. So Luke Mallon leaves the start hop on the 22 bike. Another rider in the USA Cycling Federation jersey. Mallon. 2/10 of a second back. Sorry, excuse me. 2/10 of a second faster at the third split. Just sitting down, just letting some of that lactic acid out the legs across that off camber slope. 2.8 back though, so something has gone awry for Luke Mallon, slightly further up. Things were looking good for Mallon, but this one is unlikely to trouble that time of Benny Duval. Crosses the line into third place, 3.1 seconds back, shakes the head. As we head back to the top 4. Tyler Waite on that Yeti downhill bike. New Zealand national champion. Huge, huge talent on a team that tends to make heroes. Of course, originally a home of some of the biggest names in downhill. He's 8.2 seconds into the green here. Tyler Waite taking a hatchet to this track here in Bielsko-Biala. First we've seen do that stump gap into that right-hand corner. All action from Tyler Waite. Tyler Waite heads down towards the line, crosses it, and goes fastest here in Bielsko-Biala. 10 seconds faster than the time of Benny Duval. Well, I hope there's a jacket down there somewhere for Tyler Waite, because he may be in for a bit of a sit on the hot seat. Matthias Powolny from the Czech Republic has a tall order if he's going to beat that time of Tyler Waite. YT development rider. And it's gone wrong in a big, big style further down the course for Powolny. You can see the left-hand side absolutely caked in mud. 6.9 seconds back at the third split, so it's not gone to plan for the big Czech. Here we go. Oh, just fought the bike across that off camber and got ejected, and then just took a second to gather his thoughts before getting back on our way again. Next up, it's Levin Kluisman. Kluisman, the German. On course now. This is where Powolny came undone. See just how bad. 7.2 back for Levin Kluisman. But that time of Tyler Waite's absolutely ferocious. A 3:08.8. Insanely fast time set by the big Kiwi, currently in the hot seat at the minute. So just for some context, Loic Bruni's fastest Pugh one time was a 3:08.6. Weight on a 3:08.8 on a track that has been absolutely torn apart by the elements. Tyler Waite has put down a serious time there. Klausman 12.6 seconds behind it. Dara Ryan, young Irishman, getting his UCI Downhill World Cup career underway on the Orbea FMD racing setup of Tony Seagrave. See the wind really picking up at the top now. Is that going to be a factor for these first two splits? As Dara Ryan is 18.4 seconds back. So Ryan just trying to get a look at him. Yeah, the left-hand sleeve looks like it's slightly rolled up, looking a bit dirty. So Ryan may well have been down on that brand new prototype Orbea downhill rig. Really nicely done through there, Dara Ryan. A lot of excitement around last year's winner, Ronan Dunn, and his compatriot, Oisin O'Callaghan, coming up in elite men's race later on this afternoon here. Well, Dara Ryan crosses the line, opens his UCI Downhill World Cup account, goes into 7th, 25.8 seconds behind that time of Tyler Waite. Omri Danon then, young Israeli talent, leaves the start hut. Danon looked superb in the wet conditions yesterday, really gives him a good go. Gets around the inside of that rut nicely. 9 seconds back at the 4th split for Omri Danon. Pulls across the stump gap beautifully. That's how you ride that. Danon, great to watch on a bike. Super aggressive. Comes down the line, crosses it. 10 seconds back. Tyler Waite. And I mean, it may be embarrassing, but it's better you do that there than anywhere else. There is Tyler Waite. Billy Pugh next up from the UK. We're hearing from the bottom of the course from Josh Carlson. So much of the talk around the finish area regarding vision and lack thereof. Much more than grip, he's saying. So Pugh 10.9 seconds back at the 3rd split. And on a day like today when the mud is so wet and travels so high off the tyre, straight into the rider's face. 13.6 seconds back. Next up, Bradley, Dodora, Boatwright, Hickman and Williamson. Nicely done from Pugh there. Just has to hold himself up on the bars slightly through that right-hander. Still pushing really hard here, Billy Pugh, as he heads towards the line. Is this going to be good enough to get into the top 3? Does 7th in the end, 14.8 seconds behind Tyler Waite. Certainly all action towards the bottom there from Billy Pugh. Zach Bradley for Team High Country, the Australian, leaves the start hut. We rejoin his run live as he heads across that tricky off camera. You see how long he has to wait on the pedals before being able to generate any more speed. 4.7 seconds back, 3.6 at the 3rd split. So he's about as in touch as we've seen anyone be with Tyler Waite so far. Waite's run absolutely huge and will go a long way into this race, is my prediction. Down over the line then, Bradley 6.2 seconds back. Tyler Waite, reigning Oceania Continental champion from earlier in the year. There's another off the Nico Melali framework racing bikes. Lucas Dodora, young US rider, 4.2 seconds back. So again, not as far off that time of Waite as we have seen some of the other riders be. So Dodora has a bit more experience internationally. May be able to mount an attack later on this one. Has a win earlier in the year, Maxxis ESC Intense Downhill Series. 5.9 seconds back at the 4th split. Goes straight down the middle. That really steep section. Heads down towards the line. Safely Enduro just getting fucked on impact there. Third, 6.7 seconds back, so gets to take a seat beside Tyler Waite. Another Team High Country rider, Malik Boatwright, Kiwi. Another big lad. Gets across that first gap. .6 seconds back at the third split for Boatwright. Still pushing though. So currently top 5, Waite, Bradley, Dodora, Duvall and Danon. 6.2 seconds, 6.7 separating the top 3. So Tyler Waite's had a good go at this one. But we do have the big 3 in this class. At the top last to drop, the 2 Allround brothers and Asa Vermette. Waite hits the gas, heads across the line, 8.8 seconds back on that time of Tyler Waite. Little shake of the head. That one maybe got away from him, but absolutely no doubt in what Tyler Waite has done here today. Big line in the sand drawn. Next up, Casper Hickman. Finnish rider on Cube Factory Racing. And we spoke about it last season. I have a lot of time for silver rims on a bike these days. You don't see it. Hickman, just leans in the right-hand side. 3 seconds off at the 4th split, so this is good for Hickman. This may well be enough for the top 3. If we can get inside 6.2 seconds, he'll go second fastest behind Waite here. Hickman, is he heading for second place? Crosses the line. Hickman across the line into second by 4 seconds. Tyler Waite's time holding up nicely here. Puff of the cheeks there. That's the closest anyone's come to it so far. Jonty Williamson. New Zealander who's obviously ridden a lot with his compatriot and teammate Tyler Waite. We rejoin the run live. 2.7 seconds back, however. You don't get any extra points for it. 2.3, 2.7, split 3 and split 4. You don't get any extra points for beating your teammate, but it is one of the most valuable races of the weekend. Williamson lets off the brakes, swings right. Nicely done through there. One of Damien Smith's future hopes crosses the line and goes into second. Yeti Fox 1-2 here in Bielsko-Biala. 2 Kiwis on board the turquoise factory machines of Yeti. Lorenzo Mascarini, the Italian, for Rogue Racing. Italy, another one of those nations just growing in stature. Faster and faster riders every year. It's so choppy now through those berms. Mascarini risking it all, and he's faster for the first time in a long time. We've seen a split light go green. 0.06 of a second now, Mascarini to the good. So this is the first time Tyler Waite will have seen a light turn green since he sat down in the hot seat, and it's the first split of Lorenzo Mascarini that's done it. What's the second split going to tell us? Has he managed to extend that lead? Mascarini looking really, really good as he heads towards that second split marker, which will tell us if it's adding up for him so far. Doesn't go for that big gap, stays tucked, saves a bit of energy, and he's 1.4 back. So time taken from Waite in that top section, but Tyler Waite has been absolutely colossal in the second sector. Mascarini, really, really good to watch. Those big long limbs, and just manages to keep them sort of half compressed, let the bike moving around underneath him. 45.3 kilometers an hour now through the speed trap, still 1.4 back, so he's holding station here at the third split. Lorenzo Mascarini then, currently fastest at split 1 here at the first round of the UCI Downhill World Cup of 2025. Bielsko-Biala, Poland. Sturk Mountain Resort. Track relatively unchanged, certainly in features from last year, but compared to last year, conditions much more challenging. Wind and rain continuing to move around. 3.1 back at split 4 for Lorenzo Mascarini. Well, if you're just joining us, Yeti Fox's Tyler Waite has put down an absolute stormer on the same second as Loic Bruni's Q1 time from the elite men's category yesterday on a track that resembles a ploughing match in places. Mascarini then 4th place. Good run from the Italian. Give that everything.
Yeah, we only had 5 riders left.
Mascarini tucked right down behind the stem, right to the death. Home in 4th place, the Italian. Ollie Clark from New Zealand. And the first gearbox bike with the belt drive that we have seen on our screens today so far, that zeroed. Kiwi brand who've more experience, 0.6 of a second back at the first split. Ollie Clark, so this is good so far. So many fast Kiwis in the junior men's field. Look how big the holes have got through that rut. Next up, George Madley from the UK, and then you're into your big 3, Alren, Vermette, Alren. 4 to go after this. Ollie Clark on that MS Racing setup with the zeroed bikes. €100,000 up for grabs later on this afternoon. The Gates belted purse, as we find out if anybody on a gearbox and belt can take an elite level downhill World Cup. 1.5 seconds back though for Ollie Clark, so those fastest sector times up top of Waite. He's really done the job. It's Waite, Williamson, Hickman, Mascarini and Bradley, your top 5 so far. Look how deep the ruts are. Axle deep in places. Ollie Clark making short work of them. 1.6 seconds now at the 3rd split, back on that time off Tyler Waite. Lucas, team manager, watches on at the bottom. Tyler Waite nodding his head. This is looking good so far for the big Kiwi. Ollie Clark into the woods. 2.5 seconds back at the 4th split then for Clark. It started off so promisingly, just 0.6 slower than Tyler Waite up top. Clark really aggressive into that final steep plunge around the outside of that big tree stump. Clark comes down, 4 to go after him, left at the top. Clark crosses it, goes second. 2.5 seconds behind Tyler Waite, so that bottom half the track really adding up for Clark, and it's currently a Kiwi 1, 2, 3 with Tyler Waite, Ollie Clark and Jonty Williamson locking out those top 3 positions. Next up though is the national champion of Britain, George Madley. Leaves the start hut on the Continental Atherton bike. Madley lost his ride when the Madison Saracen squad folded at the end of last season. Huge talent from the UK. 0.6 of a second back at the first split for Madley. He will be well used to riding this sort of stuff. Had a good go at it towards the end of last season. Whether or not he'd get picked up, sort of hung in the balance for a little bit, but great to see him getting picked up by such an experienced squad. G. Atherton is here this weekend. We're passing on all his wisdom, I'm sure. Madley heads towards the second split marker, and we can get an idea. We know that Wade perhaps slightly more vulnerable on those first couple. 2 seconds back. Yep, as I say, Madley. Carries speed nicely through that right-hand rock. And now he can go to work. Let that big Atherton bike eat through here. You see all the mud riding tricks deployed, the roll-offs on the goggles, the extension on the visor peak, anything to keep dirt and mud out of the eyes. As I said earlier in the broadcast, Josh Carlson reporting in from the bottom, 7.8 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. That all the riders are talking about the lack of visibility up there. It's 2.7 back now from Madley at the third split as he crosses the ski piste. That off camber, you can see the roots starting to come out of it now. Madley across that new bermed corner on the river crossing, really the only big new feature compared with last season's visit to Sturt Mountain Resort. Another gearbox and belt machine, the prototype Atherton. 2.9 seconds back at the fourth split, Madley now. The gap's growing slowly on him, but as it stands, this would be good enough for third place for Madley if he can hold it together. Has to brace himself for impact through that right-hand corner. Is he going to go into the top three here? George Madley, this could be a lovely way to start his UCI Downhill World Cup season, and goes into fourth place, just missing out on the top three. 3.4 seconds back, George Madley. Tyler Wade, look at the smile starting to creep over his face, but he knows there are three riders that really are head and shoulders above just about everyone else in this class left at the top. Riders well capable of posting elite level times, proper danger men, and it's the two Alren brothers and Asa Vermette who are left at the top now. Madley, Billy Pugh down at the bottom. And here is the first of those three big hitters left at the top. Till Alren. The young Frenchman. Mega talent on the bike as we rejoin his run live. And look at the aggression from Alren, dancing around the outside of those rocks, not even bothering with them. These two brothers, the Alrens, many tipping them to be super dominant in this sport for years to come. Two to come, Asa Vermette, then his brother Max. Till Alren, 2/10 slower than Tyler Wade. The light's still red, but it's crucially, it's very closer. It's closer than it's been for the whole session. Till Alren here on a run. Will we see a junior go faster than an elite level time from yesterday? Tyler Wade currently 2/10 of a second outside that session winning time of Loic Bruni, but look at the inside line there from Till Alren. That worked. Went hard right there. The first rider we've seen to do that today. That'll raise a few eyebrows, the team managers down at the bottom. And as I speak, you can bet that one is being reported back to the top. Let's see what the second split has to say for Alren's time. 1.2 back. So, it's looked so good for Alren, but it's not added up on the clocks. Till Alren battling to find an answer for Tyler Wade's time here. You can see the dirt has just been blasted off this section of the track, and all the holes and the roots are starting to come out now. 47 kilometers an hour. He's a second back, so he's found a quarter of a second somewhere up there. Till Alren, this is better now. Now he needs to get moving. So good technically as well. From here on down, it will suit the young Frenchman. Crosses the piste. Heads back into the woods, across the off-camber section, nearly gets bucked, unclips the left foot, manages to keep the bike moving forward. A second, hanging in the balance now, Till Alren. Fastest sector times, Mascarini, wait, Alren, wait, Clark. Till Alren almost overriding that Commensal slightly. Needs to find that delicate balance. Again, inside around that off-camber, 3.2 seconds back for Alren now. It's moving the wrong direction for him. He's still got track left to play with, though. Oh, just gets sat up slightly upright there. Heads round the right-hander, into the left. Not going to be Till Alren's day by the look of it, unless he's done something superbly special through that final sector. Till Alren crosses the line into 6th place. 4.3 seconds back on Tyler Waite. Well, it was just the second half of that run, I say, just in inverted commas. Watch this from Till Alren, though. Next up is one of the stars of this sport already, Asa Vermette. And there's that inside line that looked like it worked so well for Till Alren. Went inside through those corners, and then look, just gets bucked slightly there and has to adjust himself on the bike, loses his exit speed as a result. Got crossed up there, wrong foot down on an off camber. Just wonder if getting clipped back into that pedal maybe cost him that momentum and forward motion. Till Alren, not going to be his day, but the man in white, Asa Vermette, the UCI downhill world champion in the junior men's ranks, leaves the Sparta Hut. Freshly signed, re-signed I should say, to Frameworks Racing for the next 3 years this off-season. Asa Vermette, huge talent, a man who's already won elite level races on home soil as a junior. One to go left at the top after him, and it is his arch nemesis Max Alren. Vermette though, 9/10 of a second faster than Tyler Waite at the first split. Oh, and Asa Vermette slides out in Bielsko-Biala. Gets back on the bike, has to just adjust something on the grips. His hands will be covered in dirt. Yep. Asa Vermette gets rid of the glove mid-run. And that's cost him even more time with trying to get rid of the glove. He's capable for miraculous, we know that, but he's lost an absolute boatload of time up there. Tyler Waite may have just survived two of the biggest challenges to getting his first UCI Downhill World Cup win here. Asa Vermette's been down in Bielsko-Biala. We still have the European Continental Champion at the top, Max Alren, the reigning UCI World Cup overall title holder. What is this time of being going to tell us about Vermette's run? Yeah, 7.1 seconds back. My prediction is that that will come down. Such are the reserves of talent of this young American, but another sizable bullet dodged by Tyler Waite, who has been sat in that hot seat for what feels like forever now. Vermette had taken nearly a second out of him. So good through there, Vermette, though. 7.3. 0.2 of a second and moved away from him. We know that Waite was really, really strong through that sector as well. Well, we always say it, downhill mountain bike racing, absolutely no respecter of reputations. The Frameworks Racing star, Asa Vermette, on course, but has been down the crash. Top speed currently going to George Madley with a 47.8. Tyler Waite, fifth in that, 46.6, but we know it's not about speed through the speed trap. It's about the time on the clock at the bottom of the run. So 6.4 back now, Asa Vermette, so he's found nearly a second. Surfs his way around that really loose, rocky right-hander down into the steep section. Now Asa Vermette gets the stump gap ticked off. Nice straight line into that right-hander as a result. High stakes, but worth it. Vermette crosses the line, not the start to his year he will have wanted. Goes 96.2 seconds back, so it's currently Waite from Clark from Williamson, with one rider left at the top. Nico Mullally watches on. Here we go, watch the back end, just stepped out of the rut early on Vermette and sent him down. You can see that hand, right hand covered in mud. Vermette jettisons the glove, not much worse than a set of grips covered in liquid dirt. But there he is, Tyler Waite grits his teeth. Is this about to be it? There's one more left at the top, and it is the UCI World Cup overall title winner from last season. It is the reigning UCI European Continental Champion. It's Max Allrun for Commensal, muck off by Riding Addiction. Can Allrun set about this time off Tyler Waite? He won the last round in Mont Saint Anne of last year. Oh, so fast off the end of that gap jump. Let's get him across the first split. Max Allrun, fastest by 1.1 seconds. Leans into that apex marker. Back end skipped out on him. Many people talking him trackside about how it's not really a mini Amaury Pierron, because he's about the same size as him. Rattles that pole on the way past it. Has to get the bike crossed up mid-air to hold that line in through the chop. Goes inside of that, pushes down into the compression and swings right. Doesn't go through the big inside line that his brother went for. Goes outside. Back into the woods now for Allrun. What is the second split going to tell us as he exits this really rocky, choppy section? There it is. Max Allrun, 1.7 seconds. He's gone faster again in that sector. This would suit Max Allrun down to the ground. Vermette has dropped points today. He'd have to think it would be him. He's racing for the overall title again this season. He's got the first fastest sectors in sectors 1, 2 and 3. Really aggressive. 1.8 seconds now faster than Tyler Waite, Max Allrun. Nearly 2 seconds, so just a reminder again, Loic Bruni fastest time in Q1 yesterday, a 3:08.6 on a very different, much drier track. So Max Allrun currently heading towards smashing that as it stands. Tyler Waite is on a 3:08.8 currently. Junior men's downhill, so competitive as ever, and right on pace at the sharp end with the top elites. So it's Waite from Clark, Williamson, Madley, Hickman as it stands, but Max Allrun is 1.8 seconds faster at split free. It's now 1.1, so he's lost a little bit of time, but we know Waite was really strong through that penultimate sector. Allrun though, just sort of skipped over to the right-hand side, over that stump. Max Allrun prepares to throw that Commensal down towards the finish line. Max Allrun crosses the line and goes fastest and takes the win at round 1 of the UCI Downhill World Cup for the junior men here in Bielsko-Biala, Sturk Mountain Resort in Poland. Bangs the handlebars. That will do, and if we are going to be in for a season of junior men's racing as good as that, I'm here for it. Gets congratulated by his teammate and brother, Till Allrun. A 3:07.964, the fastest time of the day so far for Max Allrun. Fastest time across the 2 days here. Interested to see how that one stands up. Here's how he did it. Just wrestled the bike mid-air there to get the track where he needed it to track. Different line from his brother, Till. But outside through those big turns and just carried a load of speed around each of them. Wide entry into the woods as well. Didn't bother with that bank on the rider's left. It will be a brave pilot who takes that one on today in these conditions. Someone will, though. Over that stump gap. Into side, off the finish line, kept the bike low on the deck, got the job done, didn't throw away right at the end. Max Allren has very much picked off exactly where he left off last season.